Hey Alfred,
Hi, Tabs. Hello. Can you hear me?
Hello, nice to meet you.
this is Danny. Yes, we can hear you.
Hi,
Hello,
Danny. Nice meeting you.
nice to meet you too. Where are you?
Yeah, I'm from Nigeria, northern Nigeria. How
Oh,
about you?
here we are in Buenos Aires, Argentina.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice meeting you.
nice to meet you too. So I hear you have an experience of having gone through the process that we are entering now on Prisma events, right?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Okay. So here we are in the early stage of an experience um with tabs from Prisma. The idea is to have an event that I guess we started already, right, Tabs? Um, that will
Yeah,
lead here to 4 weeks from now to the product discovery and prototyping and coding of apps that will be of value for different nodes of let's call it a regenerative network of hubs. So we have ourselves a place called El Pantano in the near Buenos Aires in the Delta of Tigre outside the city in wild nature, and it's a place for regenerative culture education retreats and also rental of spaces that people for people that want to go and have an experience of being there. We have a huge salon place where we can meet for events, retreats, and co-work. And we also have cabins and an old house uh, and near the river. Near it's in a delta, and we are calling for um, other groups that are in similar situations. And the idea is to, um, yeah, measure prototype apps that can be of service to our purpose. And I wonder how feasible it is to do in 4 or 5 weeks to to come up with this uh, project discovery and prototyping and coding. Um, I wonder what is that you went through and what's your experience?
Okay. Yeah. So, from my experience of the the previous event that I was part of was the Cardano African Tech Summit. I myself was a hub lead, and tabs, to be correct, for the prototype is referring to the timelining and the publishing stack, or
no,
the
he's referring to the projects that the teams will work on.
okay, yeah, that. So, to our specific context, it was during an hackathon, and so the hackathon actually had its own fixed timeline. So it we have to like also like the ops, for teams ventures in different ops developing their prototype, they have to fit into those specific timelines. And the timeline that was given to us was specific. I think it was a month. That was 4 weeks for the
Three,
prototype.
3 months.
And most teams, no, 4 weeks. 4 weeks, that is a month
Oh,
for
wow.
the prototype. Yeah, doing the hackathon. And some teams was able to just come up with like a prototype, not really an MVP. So some projects could not actually get reusers actually using it. Like there was some software don't have security, yet, nor do they have actual deployments. Some were still using free software infrastructure, like free deployment infrastructure. So, but after that, some teams keep developing, and I think after a month or 2 months after the hackathon ended, specifically from our hub in Zaria, one team, Safro, actually went ahead and deployed live and currently in its MVP stage. So like we said, for a particular venture, a particular team, took him 3 months for it to get from a prototype. He did a prototype within 1 month and was able to actually deploy and actually able to receive users within 3 months. So but it's facing a little bit of blockers at the moment, which is on the regulatory side of things. He actually worked on a fintech app. So for it to actually launch into the market and start operating regularly, it needs the government permission and certification. So, but for the software itself, for building the software, it took him prototyping to fit into the accounting context a month, which was 4 weeks, and then to actually fully build an MVP, it took him 3 months.
What's the expertise and the background of the teams that work on this?
Okay, the team lead, the main founder for the project is actually a senior, not senior actually, mid level software developer. Is into blockchain and AI. AI is an AI engineer and blockchain engineer, and then he also has a senior biz developer that graduated from business administration, and then add one more um, marketing lady that was more of just entry level into the feed. So I could say they had two strong experienced team, and then add one mid level marketing girl that was handling the publicity and the whole. She was the scribe in the team, documenting the whole process and doing communications.
Okay. Interesting. And so you were on like a product development of a commercial app that had to do with, or apps, different kinds that had to do with what kind of products?
Okay, so from my specific hub in Zaria, we had a total of 9 teams, and from those 9 teams, we had different teams focusing on health system, on circular economy, on finance, and also on real estate. So those were the ones I could actually remember. I think I, it's documented in our docs, our publishing stack docs. So you could go there and see more teams that's currently in our hub. So, but the one I can remember, there was a team that worked on circular economy, was talking about waste, transforming waste into reusable products. And then there was fintech, that was the Safro. I also have one focusing on tech and also on estate. So those were the four sector
I see.
that I remember. Yes.
I ask a question, and do you continue using this or developing on this products that you have started?
Yeah, about
Yeah,
two two teams currently are still strong and kept on developing right after the hackathon. It was during the hackathon that the whole venture, the some of the teams was like unlocked. Like they started their prototyping during the hackathon. So currently, the about two teams are strong in continue developing because they had them themselves were more experienced and was able to go even further away from the hub and also interact with other systems, other external partners to get to get validation, to get support to keep developing. So out of the 9 teams, 2 teams are currently strong and keep developing and they are currently at market entry stage.
So, and for what I understand, they probably keep on developing because they have some economic incentive because the products are allowing some economy to circulate through them, or they have other grants. What's the situation?
Yeah, personally from the end, they were not waiting around for the hub to keep supporting them. They were able to go outside the hub environment to get external support to keep developing their idea.
Uh-huh. And the external support is coming from what kind of system? From blockchain for government funding, companies, NGOs?
Yeah. Okay. So one of the team kept on. He went to participate in another hackathon and was able to win a funding of I think $1,000. And
Mm-hmm.
the other team that was working, he was working on an IoT device that deals with environmental health system. So he participated in a government-led venture development, startup development, and so he was receiving fund support from that also.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Can I ask one more question? Um,
Sure.
with the experience that you already have, given that we live in a very open source uh, ecosystem, would you, if you have to start again, would you think that it is possible to use certain tools that are already other teams have developed and you can adapt them to your own particular needs? Or in other words, let me reframe the question. Do you think it is possible to work from that place in which you uh, take tools that other people have worked for a long time and they have perfected in a certain way, and you adapt them to your uh, own ecosystem? Or you have to
Yes,
start, or you have
yes,
to start
yes.
from scratch, and why one or the other?
No, I think it will be personally to me. My personal philosophy. I think it will be more efficient and effective to start from what some have perfected already. It's I think that is what innovation is all about. Building on what was built before. You know,
Uh-huh.
ev- like we have to like look at current development, do research, and like okay, what is the current existing systems that is in place, and then innovate on it and build on top it. So I'll
Right.
prefer using other systems that have been developed.
Uh-huh. And improve them.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Oh, nice.
yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for the question.
Thanks for sharing.
Tony, ¿tienes algunas preguntas para Alfred en inglés? Porque él no habla español.
No, I'm sorry, I entered late the meeting, but hello, Alfred. Nice to meet you, and thank you so much. No, I think that Danny addressed pretty much everything. Our our main question is how we can try to develop something that we will use afterwards that would make sense to have a tool that it's not just designing it and leaving it there, but trying to incorporate it. What's like um, the next steps to make it a tool that is alive and working, right? That seems to
Mhm.
be also a big task, no?
Mhm. So, yeah, I
And
guess if I can say something building on what Antonio shared is if you said that two of the products are they kept on development, I would imagine that those two products are the two products that were more genuine in the from the beginning, in that they were actually more uh, real needs, right? They were more realistic in that sense. And I was just thinking out of the box, maybe for our own segment. I don't know if this is the environment or we do it in a later meeting, but I was just, when you were saying one of the developments is an IoT tool, and I'm connected with somebody that is working on the IoT tech in another country, and I was thinking how powerful could be IoT tools development in the Delta, because the density of the population is so low, and the variables that we want to measure are so, we are so vulnerable to many things, like particularly the climate, and we have tides that go up and down, and sometimes the drought is severe and we cannot come in with a boat, and sometimes the flooding is so high that you cannot come out of your house because you need a boat in order to step out of your house. For example, that, or just the weather in itself, or the quality of things on the soil, or I don't know where the kayak is. Where are the kayaks? Because sometimes the tide takes it out, and maybe having an IoT device sensor in in our things could be a useful thing to have. I don't know. Those are things that come to my mind, and I wonder how far away we need to go into reaching to problems of other bioregional nodes, or if we just focus on our bioregion and the problems of our place, which is, we call them humedales. Anyway, just thinking out of the box. I guess you will understand what
The
I'm saying.
wetlands.
Yeah, the wetlands. There's so much to develop just to the
Yeah.
wetland. I wonder if we just, maybe it's interesting to just focus on that, and for many things. When it's like we talked about a few days ago about how fragile it is and how politically fragile it is at this moment, that there's a big force that is trying to change the place in a very drastic way by doubling the depth of the rivers. So maybe, anyway, I'm just thinking.
Can I
Yeah.
weave these two contexts together a
Yeah.
little bit?
Yeah,
Because Alfred is an a continuing active participant within the broader Prisma project outside of the one program that he joined us through. And so I think it's going to be really interesting for him to learn about how we're approaching this event. Because there will be differences between this event and the event that he experienced. So I was wondering if you could maybe just, if you wanted to share with him a bit about El Futuro Imposible and El Pantano. You've already talked a bit about El Pantano, but yeah,
Yeah,
it
but
might just
it
be
works.
interesting for.
I I will have to leave in a couple of minutes, but then I will be back later if you need me. I have to go to another meeting, jump back and come. But El Futuro Imposible and El Pantano, I think that for Danny and for me, it works as a whole. El Futuro Imposible, or in English, The Impossible Future, is an animated series, like animation series about the future. It's like it's very particular. It's an animated documentary that has a lot of ideas about the future. Every chapter of the series talks about a different issue. One talks about food, the future of food, the future of democracy, the future of employment, the future around global warming. So we have a lot of our main ideas and influences are portrayed in that series. And then El Pantano is a small studio and development with some houses and a place in nature where we are trying to apply the ideas of the series. So to explain it in one sentence, we did like a documentary, like an animated documentary for YouTube. And then we have a place in an island where we try to apply all the ideas of that documentary, if it makes sense. Does it make sense, Alfred? It's strange, but
soon, Alfred, soon the documentary will be free to be broadcast abroad. Maybe we can share with you like a private link so you can see it now. But
yeah,
we're raising funds to liberate the rights of broadcasting. But one interesting thing to know about it is that it triggers in people the desire to act and do things and get together and build and think on how to build a different future. So it acts like a cultural narrative that brings people together in a common dream. And so this is the way in which we are sort of calling the other nodes, the other hubs, into being part of this event that we are starting.
and so basically, what we are thinking right now is how can we apply the ideas of the impossible future in El Pantano. I will send now a link of El Pantano in English. That's also a good link for you, Tabs, because I'm not sure you have seen this.
No.
It's a presentation of El Pantano, but in English that I did. So I sent you two links. The Impossible Future is like in English, the website of the series, and the second one is like a presentation that we did explaining the island project. So basically, we have all the ideas of the documentary, and we have a place with the community and a lot of friends that are doing agriculture, recycling, democratic systems of governance. And we want to join them and tell them, okay, let's develop these tools, but we want to put El Pantano as an example for all of these applications. I think like if we can design applications for a special place like El Pantano, then we are sort of inventing tools for one laboratory, and somehow they can all be connected, interconnected, and we can try to have our community working to give them life afterwards. What do you guys think? What do you think, Danny, what I'm saying?
That's exactly right.
I think it's an awesome idea. I do love it, and yeah, it resonates with me because I also do love watching animations, and
Uh-huh.
and I love watching documentaries also. So documentary and animation coming together, like it's a goal for me, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Afterwards, we have to find the link because we do have like a link with a password
I have
for
it.
people in other countries because you cannot see it in YouTube
Yeah.
outside of Latin America. It's only released in Latin America for YouTube, but we can send you a password. I will look for it and I will send it to you, Alfred.
All right. Thank you. I look forward to it.
I'm sorry, I entered the meeting late, so I didn't get to listen to the first part. But
Anyway,
yeah,
interesting.
it's very nice to meet you, and I hope we keep on talking. Do you guys mind if I go to the other meeting and then join you afterwards?
We will probably open a new one a bit later, so we all do other things now. Take a break. Yeah.
Cool.
Excellent. Okay.
Hey.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Nice
Ciao.
to meet you, Alfred.